Thank you for having me.
All right, so we had a conversation last week, and as at then you were still a nominee, but now you are a winner. How does that feel? Congratulations, by the way, on being named the 2025 Commonwealth Young Person of the Year. How does it feel to receive this prestigious award?
Honestly, I am still processing a lot of it, but the truth is, it's a hopeful feeling. I'm grateful amongst amazing young people that are doing amazing work across different continents within the Commonwealth. To be recognized as the top champion means a lot, and it means that the work we are doing at Lighted is very significant and important. So I would say I am very hopeful. That's how I'm feeling at this point. So yeah.
All right, so you did explain the project Light Ed, but for those who do not know exactly, can you tell us more about the innovative project and how it's transforming waste into solar innovations?
Definitely. So at Lighted, we are using different types of waste materials, for example, electronic waste and plastic waste to build different products that provide people access to clean and affordable energy. So how we do this is very simple. Some of our solutions, for example, the Lighthouse charging station, which is a location where people go to rural areas to charge their mobile phones, is built entirely out of metal frames and plastic waste, recycled plastic waste that are converted into panels that are being used for building those spaces. Then for the electronic waste, we recycle lithium-ion batteries, DC fans from old televisions and old laptops. So the work we're doing is very significant because we are taking another problem and converting it into a solution.
Right. Now, your work has provided clean energy to over 10,000 refugees across Africa. That's massive. What inspired you to focus on this specific issue?
I think during one of the conferences I attended, I had the severe case of what is happening within refugee camps. And I remember volunteering for an entirely different organization and saw the lived reality of refugees. And this was before I even started Lighted. And once we got the ability to design our solutions, refugees were already part of our core target focus of the areas that we're going to solve these problems. And because these people have been dismissed from their homes, they have lost their homes and everything, and they still have to live in the dark. So a lot of things happens in those situations. Luckily enough for us, we've been able to even do a fieldwork project with the UNHCR supporting us in that process. And it is very important that from here on forth, the work that we're going to be doing in the future is going to be really designed around enabling refugee communities, internally displaced communities, to have access to clean and affordable energy.
Okay, how do you think that your project aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDG? What impact do you hope it achieves?
Our work is core around SDG number 7, which is affordable and clean energy. And that goal is one of the 17 SDGs that spills across providing access to equitable access to clean and affordable energy, switching from fossil fuel into sustainable means and reliable means of energy. And how we're doing that is majority, or if not all of our solutions, are entirely solar powered. Although we are doing research around other technologies like wind energy and also hydro energy and some other energy sources that we're looking at developing at Lighted. But at the core of what we do, our solutions have a ripple effect on other SDGs. For example, we provide lighting to school students in rural communities, and this allows them to study more at night. And this connects to SDG 4, which is quality education. And you have around life on land, life in water. We are recycling plastic into solutions and into structures. And you're seeing this also helping take out plastic from the environment. So I see the work we're doing at Lighted around one core element is circular economy, making sure that we are using waste materials as a core structure in our solutions. And this then has a ripple effect to translate to other SDGs in terms, but our core SDG is SDG 7, affordable access to affordable and clean energy.
So I'm sure that beyond the glitz and glam, there's been moments where you had to go through mud, and every project has its own challenges. So what were some of the challenges that you faced while developing and implementing this project?
I think one of the problems that we faced earlier on was access to energy itself was a problem because when we started, we didn't have the funding and resources to make our office space and our production space fully solar powered. So we had to rely on the grid, which was not reliable. And that was one of the early challenges we faced. But as soon as we were able to raise funding, one of the first things we invested in was making sure that our entire operation was 100% reliant on solar energy. And seeing this in terms of other problems, funding was a problem that we had at first, but when we had a proof of concept, we noticed that people started understanding what we are talking about, the impact our solution will have, and that allowed us to raise funding. And why I'm saying the challenges I faced, at the same time, we were able to overcome them. Currently, one of the major challenges we are facing is logistical issues to certain communities that we want to get to. It's either on safe by road or there's no road at all. So we are trying to figure out how do we design solutions that allow us to get to other communities that we need to impact in a very safe way, that the lighted team is also safe, because that's very important in the work we are doing, the safety of the team and the safety of the community that we're providing the solutions for. So that is a current challenge that we're still going to figure out. And thank you.
All right. So as a young innovator, what advice would you give to others who want to make a positive impact like you have done and you're doing in their communities?
My advice to every young person is don't think of a very big problem to solve. Don't hop on websites and look for problems and Google problems I can solve. Look around you. Look in your street. Go to the barber shop. Go to the woman that is selling foodstuff in your street. Go to the school nearby. Ask them what problems they are facing. Know as much problems as you can, and then you look at those problems and look at your skill and see what can my skill address, and then you look at what can other people's skill address that I can pull into a team to build something. So my advice is start local but dream global. So that's it.
Great. So you talked about other people's skills and collaboration, pulling together a team. So this is a bit of a personal question, but how do you see your project scaling up in the future? What partnerships or collaborations are you looking to explore?
At the moment, we are currently trying our very best to see how to develop models that would help other young people within Nigeria to design solutions locally. And that is around 3D printing technology, around solar technology, around production and manufacturing technology that requires less funding than it would require. So we're figuring out a lot of moving pieces right now on how to help other young people scale or even start their hardware or infrastructural solutions. But at the moment for Lighted, our scaling is going to revolve around building more technology that recycles more waste materials into solutions and scaling the solutions that we currently have across different states, across different countries within Africa, and also hopefully one day the globe. And we're currently trying to secure partnerships in different African countries that would allow us to start testing some of the models that we have successfully implemented in Nigeria in those countries.
Great. Well done. Really, really great initiative. And I like that you're thinking global, not just, stopping at the African level. You've conquered, the African level, and it's time to go global. Now, what role do you think, and speaking on a wider scope now, what role do you think that technology can play in addressing some of the world's most pressing challenges, like climate change issues and energy access? Because you talked about the difficulty of getting access to energy itself.
Really, at the moment, I think everything we do in our current world revolves around technology. And it's not just AI or machine learning or advanced tech. It requires simple technological solutions, like very simple solutions. And I think in Africa, we need to start focusing more around how do we use simple solutions to solve problems in a functional way that we're able to move forward and grow. Currently in Africa, over 600 million people do not have access to energy, and that is a huge gap, which means if I develop a solution as a young person, an app, it means over 600 million people will not be able to have access to that app. And that is a problem that has a spillage effect that goes into other fields and other industries. In terms of technology, in terms of solutions, I think everything starts from design. It starts from an idea. And I think every young person right now, if you're listening to me, my advice would be we should focus on how we should design solutions that rely on waste materials into solutions. And you're seeing this happening in other continents. One of the finalists is currently using seaweed to convert seaweed into products instead of cutting down trees, we're harvesting seaweed, which grows fast and grows rapidly. So I think it shows you simple ways that we can use very simple technology to convert either natural materials or convert waste materials into solutions that could help us tackle climate change and at the same time help tackle the global energy crisis that is happening within Africa and also in some other parts of the world.
Okay, so let's narrow it down now to Nigeria. As a Nigerian innovator, how do you think that your work can contribute to the country's development and growth?
I think Nigeria is a very big country, but then I think I would focus more on how I think our work at Lighted is significantly going to play a major role within the next 5 years in terms of designing solutions locally. And when I mean designing solutions locally, I mean solutions made in Nigeria by Nigerians for Nigerians. And this goes to hardware products. It could be solar home systems, it could be portable thermometers, it could be ventilators. And I think that's something Lighted is doing, apart from looking at access to energy from just a very simple perspective, which is like plug in and you're getting power. We're looking at access to energy as an enabling factor to build other solutions that still rely on energy, but then this future, it will rely on clean and accessible energy, which is going to be solar power or wind power technology. So right now, one of the things that we're doing is to build those solutions that will help connect other young people to build their solutions locally. And I feel that's a role that we're going to play in terms of Nigeria in the future and the young people in Nigeria to be able to have a hub where they can build their solutions by themselves and make change and make impact happen.
Okay, so I mean, it's one thing to be willing to invest in your own country. It's another for the country to be fertile enough, and by fertile enough, I mean all hands on deck, government supporting stakeholders, supporting private investments like yours. What role do you think that government and stakeholders can play in supporting projects and initiatives like this so it doesn't just become words and not action?
Definitely. I think when we started Lighted, one of the things that we put in mind was how do we build an organization that even if the government doesn't support us, how do we scale without that support? But then in the process of growing our organization, we started observing that no matter what you did, the government has a strong influence on the work you're doing. And this is around policies. And now in Africa, we have a lot of policies. In Nigeria, we have a lot of policies that have been written, that have been decided upon, but they are not being implemented. And I think there should be very strong policies that should support young people venturing into the climate space, venturing into the impact space, venturing into clean tech or blue tech or green tech. And I think this is very important. The government should have initiatives or incentives for this structures or for these or NGOs, non-profits, or private sectors that are interested in these fields. This not only is going to be the future of the world, but I think for Nigeria as a country, it is very significant for us to hop on that wagon right now while it's still fresh and have young people design and build local solutions that can be used globally.
All right. Once again, a massive, massive congratulations to you. Thank you so much, Stanley Anigbogu, the 2025 Commonwealth Young Person of the Year for the region of Africa. Thank you for all you do. We see you and we are super proud of you as a country, as a station. Thank you so much for joining us to discuss this.
Thank you for having me.